we shot Silence in the Library, and then David still had the rest of the season to film, and I think he also did a Christmas special as well. And then there was pretty much a year before Matt. Oh no, there wasn't. Sorry. There was yes, I think there was. There was a year, or there was a significant period of time before Matt started filming, and they filmed the end where they regenerate together. But I honestly, I literally took the job thinking that it was just a 2-episode story arc, and that was that, and it was a lovely role, and it was a lovely job. But Stephen, his intention was always, he already had everything mapped out in his head. But he kept that, very quiet. Didn't tell anybody except Russell T. Davis. But I think even Russell, I don't think Stephen necessarily told him, but Russell figured it out because they both know how one another ticks. But I had no expectations of what this character was going to be, or how she was going to evolve, and I still don't actually. I mean, I have no sense of what's coming until Stephen tells me. When he chooses to.
I'm really glad you're such a cultural force in the show.
Thank you.
How long in advance, or were you able to figure out what the question was on your own, or did the writers have to tell you?
Which question?
Doctor.
Spoilers.
Hello. Is it true that you are autographing the TARDIS they are auctioning off on row 400?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Random.
Hello, thank you. You play one of the most powerful, inseparable female characters, I think, on television, movies. Where do you tap into to be able to get that? Is there internal or external influences or other actresses that you draw from in order to create the character of yourself?
Gosh, that's a fantastic compliment. Thank you so much. I mean, the role, the character River has been created by Stephen, and I think that obviously she's developed and become more fully fleshed as a character, I suppose, the more I've been playing her, and but that's true, I think, of any actor playing any role. The more you play the role, the more comfortable you are in the bones of that character, and they sort of they change, they become more and more sort of faceted as a person. But actually, I mean, really, even in Silence in the Library, she was already very sort of strongly drawn out by Stephen, and I suppose I just I responded to his writing in a way, I guess, that they liked. I don't know, and I've been through, I think everybody here has been through tough times in their lives, and those tough times sort of inform you, and you get stronger and you grow as a person, and maybe the things that I've experienced myself in my life, I've been able to then somehow draw on, not consciously, but it's there within me, so in some level it's going to somehow come through in how I'm acting, I guess, or the acting choices that I make. I don't know, does that answer it?
Thank you, it does.
Well, I answered this question a couple of days ago. The monster that I found the most frightening, and in fact they've only been seen once, and I don't know whether they'll ever bring them onto the screens again, because I think they were actually too scary, were those zombie ones that had the water all coming out of their mouths.
Oh.
With the
So with they drink the water or something?
Yes, on Mars.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
They terrified me. Absolutely terrified me.
They're bad.
And
They're bad.
in fact, I think originally, because this was when Russell was still
That was in the earlier episodes.
show running,
When,
and it was his
David.
episode. They originally had contact lenses in that were just, their eyes were just white. And they started filming, and in fact they'd seen the rushes, and it was so scary that they made an executive decision to change that so that their eyes, I think, were still their eyes, but they just sort of looked glassy or, vague. But because it was just too frightening. And given that it is a family show, there is certainly a level that you can't kind of go beyond, really. But aside from those, I find the Weeping Angels and the Silence the most frightening, because they, as well as just being physically rather frightening, I just think psychologically they're frightening, because with the Weeping Angels, I mean, we've all grown up with statues in our midst. We all relate to statues and gargoyles, and I certainly, as a child even, would play a game where I think the statues, what if they really came alive, or what if they had a spirit within them, or did they move or not? And so for Stephen, in a sense, to take that idea, which maybe is a common idea amongst children, and actually run with it, and similarly with the Silence, it's brilliant, because for a start they look like Edward Munch's The Scream. That's where the image, I think, first was born. It was that face. But then again, to play with the sort of the notion that they're amongst us, just we can't remember we've seen them, is fantastic, because they could all be here now, and we just don't, we've forgotten. And so he plays that both of those monsters are you're playing with your psyche as well as just the sort of the literal scariness factor. So that's why I think they're best.
Thank you so much.